Hello, hello everyone. I'm Steve from Mac84 and welcome to another Mac84 live stream. How's everyone going? Doing? Thing? Go. This will be a fairly short stream because I'm going to be on a podcast at 8 p.m., which I'll plug in a moment. But so we'll probably only be streaming for an hour, 20 minutes, something like that, less than that. But it's the Retro Repair Roundup podcast, and Joe of Joe's Computer Museum and other friends are going to be on there, so that's exciting. And there's a link that I quote tweeted or tweeted out, whatever the tweet function I did just a few moments ago. So Mac84 TV on Twitter is the handle that you want to look for if you want to follow me and see my tweets. And Joe is going to put a link into the chat because that's how Joe is. So, yay! But hopefully everyone is doing well. We have 22 viewers, it seems, tonight. Let's take a look at who's joining us today. We have Starbuck Tech, we have Christian, we have Adam, and let's see, we have Dave, we have Alex, we have Joe from Joe's Computer Museum, 50 Shades of Beige. I like that username. Who else we have? We have SadMac356, we have Lorenzo, sorry. Angel's here. Trina is here. Hello, Trina. And Aaron is here. Who else is here? Garth is here. Hello. Xenoblade is here. And Secret Chicken is here. If I missed you or forgot to say hello or couldn't pronounce your name, hey, Chris. Chris is here. And, yeah, people keep coming in. So, yeah, just hi. Welcome to the stream. And we're going to have some fun tonight, or at least we're going to try to. So, just catching up on some things that were being worked on, including both of Ron's cursed Macintosh Classic 2 logic boards. So there you go. Hey, Mike, how's it going? So this is going to be a short stream, like I said. Probably only go for an hour, maybe a little more. Have to jump on to Joe's podcast and Joe and Friends podcast, 8 p.m. Eastern. I'll put a link in and remind everybody before I jump off. But, hey, Patrick, how's it going? And, yeah, so we have two logic boards. These are from Ron of Ron's computer videos. And, yeah, they're problematic. So, we ultrasonically cleaned them. They've dried for a bit. Make sure there's no residue hanging around at all. No, these are thoroughly dry. So, we're going to plug them into our chassis over here and see if we get anybody going. So, Joe, Javier, Rudy, and Ron. Ron can't make it due to a last-minute family thing. Oh, Ron. Don't worry. We'll make up for him. Although, it's probably for the best because whenever Ron's on anything, I just giggle and distract myself from anything. So, in Ron's honor, we're going to test out his boards real quick. And I have some other stuff to work on if that doesn't really turn out that well. Alright, so let's see if we can get our picture-in-picture going, which always seems to be a bit problematic whenever I try and do this. So, there we go. That kind of works. Yes, please like the video, subscribe. Well, if you're in the chat, you're already subscribed because I turned on subscriber-only mode. So there you go. The first board we're going to test is this guy. And this is the one that was giving us a checker bar pattern. So that's this one right here. This is the second of Ron's boards. And unlike Bruce's board, well, that was a color classic. He had a few caps missing on the bottom, or at least one of them. I don't see any missing here. So we're gonna try and get this going here. And Bruce is not in the chat yet, so I feel so underprepared. My ultrasonic cleaner left a little bit of a residue here. Whoopsie, as I knock into things. Just using a Q-tip with some alcohol just some gunk. Like sometimes it just leaves like little particles between the pins on things. And before we plug it in, just like to super double check very quickly. Just make sure nothing is touching anything it shouldn't, etc., etc. But we should be all good to go. But someone of the Mac84 crew, go bother Bruce and say, hey, what are you doing? You were the one asking when I was going to stream, and now you ghost me. I know how it is. I see how it is. I'm sure he'll be along shortly. He's probably doing important Bruce things. Now, these chips still have quite a bit of gunk on the bottom of them. I have not removed those chips, so. But either way, we'll test this out here. So we're going to plug in the extended cable I have for this. It's basically an ATX cable that I cut some of the non-needed connectors off of, and it fits right in there. That'll work with the Classic 2, and the Macintosh SE and the SE30. So there you go. All right, so we're going to move this a little bit forward like that. And is this even plugged in? I've removed some of these cables here. No. I bought a new power strip from the thrift store the other day that has a longer cable, because this one's just sort of dangling. That's not good. So that'll have to do for now. So we'll turn that on. I'll put it over there. And, hey, Bruce is here. Excellent. Perfect timing. Bruce, cross your fingers. This is one of Ron's boards that was giving us the checker bar pattern. Let's see if it does anything different today. 3, 2, 1. Hey, we got a chime. Holy crap. Look at that. We got a cursor. Now to get a freaking keyboard and mouse. Hey. That's what I like to see. It's a lovely thing what a little ultrasonic clean will do. So let's plug in our keyboard. We're going to borrow our good friend Dave's Blue SCSI, which I have to slap an SD card in and mail his way. My apologies. That will be heading your way soon, my friend. But you're going to be seeing it live being used. So. Don't worry, Joe. There's plenty of times where it doesn't work for me. But I won't tell anybody. Oh, wait, I just did. Like the Quadra. I can't even count how many times that 848V board has been through the darn ultrasonic. Alright, so our mouse cursor is working. That's a nice sight. It bonged! And we have SCSI disk activity. And look at that. Look how fast that booted into System 608. Look at that. Alright, cool. So let's open that up. And go to About This Mac, using my stomach as a mouse pad. Look at that. 2 whole megabytes of memory. And that looks like, it looks pretty darn good. Stuff on screen. Yeah, that's the refresh rate of the camera, not syncing up with the display or whatever. But alright, cool. Can we get both of them working? Well, the problem is this board is a little, where did I put the ROMs for this? That's not good. I took off the ROM sockets. Oops. Ron, forgive me. Forgive me, Ron. I swear I put them in a good place. Which is somewhere. Poop. I'll just make him new ROMs or give him mine. If I can't find them. I put them in a little plastic container thing, which is somewhere. I don't know. But that's good. That's very, very promising. I will go through the... actually, wait. We had Snooper on there. Hold on a second. Let's just turn it back on. Just do our testing right now. Yes, a nice healthy chime. That's what we like to hear. And I did find my floppy EMU. So that's good. Ron sockets. Sounds like Hot Pockets. Alright, so we're going to open up Snooper, which is a application you could test things with. And I believe we have to use version 2, I think, is what we were doing before. And we'll just run through most of the tests here. We don't need all of them. Like, we don't need the disk tests there. Yeah, let's just do that. Go! Now this happened before. Don't worry. This is not because of the machine. That specific test on Classic 2s does not work on System 6 for whatever reason with this version of Snooper. That's to be expected. We'll just reboot and we'll try it again. We'll skip that the first test there. This thing is zippy. Yeah, so we're not going to test the memory. Let's skip the PRAM because there's no battery. And we'll start. Now it's going to complain with the printer and serial ports that doesn't have that loopback thing plugged in. Yeah, but because of the handshake test. But it doesn't mean the chip isn't working. Gonna do the same thing with the modem port. Hey Jim, how's it going? And DJ Craze, how's it going? Then we're going to test the CPU and the ADB, and that should be about it. What processor does it have on there? Motorola 680XO. Oh. Alright, and it passed the processor. Now we're going with ADB, which should pass fine. Yes, it did, because we have our keyboard and mouse, which is working great. And it's just going to keep going in that cycle until we click end. So that's fantastic. We're going to be able to give Ron at least one of his machines in working order. Yeah, the personal diagnostics tests are good. There's a bunch of different tests I use. Sometimes if I'm trying to narrow down something, Snooper works well. Depending on the system, there's some other software options. Obviously, if it's hardware supported, the tech step is another lovely thing that I like to use. Usually with the SE30s because it'll get problematic. All right, so we're gonna unplug this board and we're gonna try going 2 for 2 here. I don't know if that's gonna work, but this board should chime because it was chiming before, but it was failing during one of the tests. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to temporarily borrow the ROM chips from here. It's going to drive me crazy where they are because the keyboard's going to fall out of my lap. Because I just had... Oh, here they are. They're right here. They're right in front of me. I was about to say, I just had the ROM chips. So, just going to make sure I put them back in the right order because they have different numbers on them. And so we have... Where is it? Where is it? This is going to be fun. There's a few... Yeah, 6-4, 6-6, 6-7. So 6-4, 6-5, 6-6, 6-7. Okay. So I'm just making sure the orientation is correct when putting the ROMs back in. Unlike the Classic and the Classic, and the Color Classic, you don't have to worry about the orientation of the chip as much because it only has the right amount of pins for the socket. I mean, you still have to worry about the orientation, but with the Classic, you could actually put it in the wrong way, even if it's pointed the right way, because there's an extra row of pin openings on the socket. So, thanks, Mike. I always appreciate it. Well, it's our first stream in December. There'll probably be plenty more since I have some time off from work coming this month. Thank goodness. So you'll probably be seeing a bunch of stuff. I'm writing the episode of Vintage Apple Basics Part 2 because there was a lot of cool stuff that I want to cover in that series. I just saw some gunk there that I wanted to clean off from this angle. Saw some junkaroonies here. Just make sure we get those all squared away before we turn this guy on. So I'm working on that. I know that was one of my most popular recent videos. So I'm excited to get that out if I can fairly soon. In a few days or a week or so. Yeah, alright. Well, this is looking okay. But, I mean, the real test is going to be in the pudding here. Now, this thing should work in a school. No, I don't. And, yeah, we're going to turn this on. It should chime. And the thing is, it was freezing when I was trying to start up System 7. or if we were running the tests on the serial port or the modem port. Either of those. So I'm just looking again. Make sure there's no dirt in that area. And, yeah. Well, I mean, I get X amount of days off a year, so that's... I have to choose them wisely. It's not like I'm just like, bye! That's not how that works. Okay. Alright, let's try this. So this is Ron's first board. This is a problematic one. And it should chime. I don't know if it'll finish all the tests correctly, but let's see. Well, not chime, but start up. We're still not hearing a startup chime, which is concerning. At least the other one chimed. Well, feel better, Mike. I hope that nap did you well. Did you end up streaming earlier, Mike? Because speaking of naps, when I got a note from you, I was taking a nap myself. Oh, there better be a cursor. Yeah, this board is... Ugh. Yeah, this is the problematic one, but at least Ron has one working one he could play around with for a while. And if this one still wants to be a pain in the butt, let it be, and we'll keep fussing around with it. But I am not thrilled, or filled with confidence, rather, at this point. Nope. That's a shame. That's a real shame. Alright, so this is going to take more diagnosis, and I'm not going to do it right now. We're going to move on to something else. Because I want to talk to Ron and see what he wants to do with this, and we'll go on from there. But at least we got one of Ron's boards working, which is excellent. So let's move that over to the side. Let's unplug this guy. Move this over here. Put the keyboard and mouse in there. So we got about less than an hour to go here before I got to bail. So let's see what we could work on. So let's transition over to the single camera. Hi. So I have a power supply I have to redo here. And I normally don't redo power supplies. And the reasons are very clear on my website. But essentially, many different types of power supplies, many different variants, whether Sony made them, Aztec, TDK, whatever. Each one is different. Each one could have different capacitors. Each one could have different variants of those capacitors. And then finding out which capacitors, the size, the width, the height, the pitch, that's the space between the leads on it, that's all manual work. All manual work. It takes a lot of time to diagnose, what parts I need inside one of these to replace them. Excuse me. And, yeah, it's not fun. So this is my own personal power supply. It actually came from the one of my 2SIs. This is a Macintosh 2SI power supply. And I have two of these. One came from a prototype Macintosh set-top box. And it didn't work. Or at least I thought it didn't work. Turns out it did work. But I bought a spares. And this is the spare one. So we're going to take it open. And I do have all the caps here for it. So that should be filled. As I open the drawer, all of the caps fell out. So let me bend down. And grab them. Ow. All right, let's try this again. Oh boy. All right, so this is in the top bin of the capacitors here where random stuff is stored. All right, so I wrote down on these little things which ones are for the 2SI. Here it is. Here's one. And I only bought enough capacitors to do two of the power supplies because that's all I had to do. So I will find them. Here's another one for the 2SI. And I'm just going to sort them out and we'll go from there. 2SI. There we go. SE30 chips. USB ports. LC power supplies. That's another one I bought a few of. 2SI. There's a lot of caps here for the 2SI. 2SI. Let's see. Basically, I'm going to go through the whole thing. See if I see any 2SI. 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 And I'll show you all of these when I'm done, but it's like a dozen different values of capacitors. 2GS. And so it's not really anything you want to do if you don't gotta. SI. That's fine. All right, so I think that's all settled. I just say old people noises. That way we're all inclusive and covering all different old peoples with knees like mine. Okay, so let's see. Here's the 2SI power supply. I keep wanting to call it a 2CI, but that's not it. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 different values of capacitors. All of these are for this power supply. All of these. So, yeah. Just catching up with the chat, set-top box. Kind of stuck in how to perform a bootstrapping. The chipset expects the processor to use one reset vector while 68K use another. Other than that, I don't think it would be too hard. I have no idea what you're talking about, Christian, but that sounds exciting. I'm kind of so curious to know what you... where did I miss you? Oh, 68K on a 286 word, busting those new BIOS, obvious ones too. I mean, hey, that sounds exciting. Hey, Scarlet Swordfish. I have no idea where to begin on that. I'm not that technically skilled with some of these things. That sounds like a software and schematic type question, and I'm like, nope. I could solder maybe, and that's it. All right, so let's get a little bin or a box or something to put these caps in. Well, first I have to remove all the caps, so move all the fresh ones to the side. We'll just push them off there, and we're gonna open this up. That's gonna be fun. Yes, I do have the two surface mount caps. In fact, I saw one of them while going through here. I hope I have the other. Yeah, here's one of them. 25 volt, 33 microfarad. Maybe the other is a standard that I have elsewhere. We'll double check. But these will all go off to the side. So here's the power supply here. And apologies for the blooming and the color and everything. That's just how this is going to be. If it's anything like the other one, this is going to be disgusting inside. The other one had leaked electrolytic all over the place. Actually, I had to ultrasonic the darn thing. So what we might just do is we might just rip off the caps from this, and then that'll be the end of the stream, and I'll jump on the podcast that I'm going to be on today, and we'll go from there. So these two screws are a little different. They have a larger washer around them. These two on the side. So we're going to move those. Yeah, something fell inside of there. It was probably the one of the voltage steelies or something. Just loosen that one. Alright, so if I recall correctly, to take this top off, you just kind of do one of these deals. Yeah, I think is that holding it in? Well, we'll find out. There we go. Yeah, that was this piece of metal here. How was this? I'm gonna have to open the. Oh wait, I think it was just like. Yeah, it was just like putting pressure against. That's fine. So we'll just put the screw back in there. Thank you very much, Joe, for putting that in there. That is the podcast I'm going to be joining a little bit later tonight. And this looks like it's a grounding. Yeah, that's like a grounding bit. We have a little bolt here. I'm going to take that bolt and off. Whoops, almost dropped it in there. Take this piece out and just put it right back together. That way I do not lose that screw or the bolt, and I remember where the heck this was supposed to go. Because taking these things apart is not exactly fun. Alright, so there's this little board here, and wow, that's bent and there's fuzz on it. Let's get all that dust out of there. Ugh. Yeah, there's this little board in here that has two caps on it. We have a 100 microfarad 6.3 volt. That's a standard one I have. Then we have a 33 microfarad 25 volt on this little board here. Now, recapamac.com, that's Bruce Rains, Brankus Creations website, has all the stuff you need to know about recapping these. And there's a reefer cap just like welded in here, just soldered on next to this. I'm going to look at Bruce's website as I slam a link in the chat here, just to see if that's on his as well, because I don't recall necessarily. So we have the 2SI power supply. We're going to load up that website here. And Bruce's photo doesn't exactly show that far of it because it is sort of on the power connector end here. But that's a bit strange. That is a bit strange, Bruce. But here, let me show you a better angle of this. So we have the two power connectors here. That's these guys. And then there's this reefer cap just like wired on there along with this little other guy. So there's like this, what looks like a reefer cap. I don't know what it is, but yeah, that's strange. Anyway, we're gonna take all this out. So it's been a while here. All right, so there's screws in the bottom holding this board in, and then this connector you have to sort of squeeze in a weird way to get that out. So, all right. Hope everyone's had a good weekend. As the weekend comes to a close, or if you're in Bruce's land, it's already Monday, unfortunately. But hopefully everything is going well there with him and anyone else watching the stream. So that's our little grounding pin, it looks like. And we have at least two screws down here that we're going to have to get into, and this screwdriver may not fit. Hey, Retro Techie, how's it going? So we're going to have to fish that cable out of the way. Get that screw out of there. And we have one more screw which is going to be equally as fun to get out, and that's right by what looks like a reefer cap. I'll be able to read that once we get it out of here, but and these are the power supplies on the 2SI. These must be recapped. It's not, yeah, kind of, blah, blah. No, both of mine worked, and that was like earlier this year, and yeah, they both went downhill fast. Machines started turning off, things just were not working, and yeah, it was time to recap the sucker. So, alright, so we are going to remove this part. This is the little power receptacle area. This sort of, you have to wiggle it out of there. There we go. And that comes off like that. And, hey Dan, how's it going? My goodness, Dan and I, we were having quite a time earlier playing that Minecraft. My goodness, we got into some shenanigans, I tell you what. And I'm glad that Dan saved my butt more than once, and I saved his butt, and yeah, we had a lot of butt saving going on. So look at that. Yeah, that looks like a reefer cap right there. That's interesting. Very, very interesting. Let's switch around this picture-in-picture view so I could get a better view of what I want to show you. 1 second. Boop-a-doop-boop-boo. And if any of you guys are not aware, the Canadian Computer Collector here in the chat just released a video. So go check out his channel and subscribe. He has a small number of subscribers. I don't understand that because this guy does amazing work. So any of you in the chat, you are not already subscribed to Dan, who is in the chat as Canadian Computer Collector, please go check him out. He's a friend of the channel. He's been on MacYak. You can trust him. He is not going to steal your computers and your soul. At least that's what he told me when he stole my soul. But that's, you know, what are you going to do? All right, so that was a good way to buy some time. All right, so yeah, but seriously, subscribe to Dan's channel. He does awesome content. He does awesome work. And I hope that all his dreams come true. As we look at a very slightly, I had to manually adjust me in the corner, so I'm like slightly stretched, but I just look funny, but all right, whatever. So this thing has a reefer cap maybe, but it's not one of the paper ones. It looks like it's a plastic one, so that might be okay. But we're really more concerned about the rest of the board here. So let's continue to wiggle this out of here. And it's not really going to go anywhere until you undo this guy. And this is a bit of fun because you got to sort of squeeze these bits of plastic until you can push one in. And you got to do the same with this guy. Sometimes you need a pair of pliers. And yeah, that looks like it's got it. And then you sort of... Did I miss a screw? I might have missed a screw here. I don't think so. Some of the times it's just stubborn. Got to flex the metal a bit. Ooh, I see tons of goo here. Oh, this is going to be fun. Oh, yeah, I did miss a screw. There's a screw right behind this cable. And you can see the bottom of it right through here. That's going to be fun. Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy. And, yeah, so we had to put a screwdriver right near this green cable right here. So the screw is right where my finger is jabbing. It's a little hard to see. There you go. You see it right there. So it's fun to put together too, I tell you. When you're done putting this together, you need one of those magnetic tip screwdrivers because there's a good chance that you need one of those to actually put this back together correctly. There we go. Now all the screws that are holding the power supply to the case, the power supply board to the case, are rounded. They have round tops, so not as flat as the others that connect the case of the power supply to the case of the power supply. So that sort of helps you. All right, so this should now come out. Sometimes you have to just pry the edges of the metal a little bit. Oh my goodness, look how shiny this is. You might not be able to see it on the camera, but this shininess is electrolytic fluid, and this is all black and ugh. We're going to take a look under the microscope just to show you how disgusting this is, because these caps have certainly leaked. And this board is actually glued at an angle here. Right here, this board right here. Usually it's just straight up. This is just glued to that little poor cap there. And yeah, we're gonna replace all these. Ugh. Ugh. All right. All right. So let's take a look at the microscope here and see. I need another camera here. I need I actually bought an arm to hold the camera against the wall, but I haven't gotten to that yet. So let's see if I could show you the loveliness that's going on here. Just look at that. Yeah, that trace is a goner, a bit. You think? Oof. Oh, look at that. Still copper under there. My goodness. Yeah, this is quite disgusting. And this is very... Ugh. I think this is the worst of it here. Put some fresh solder mask on that, but this is all old flux and electrolytic fluid. And here it's pretty bad too. Oof. Look at the way it's just eaten into the layer here. Look at that. We'll put all fresh solder mask on this, but ooh, you're not getting the best focus here, unfortunately, because I had this piece of wood under here, and so it's very difficult for the microscope to get this close to it. But oh boy, yeah, this is nasty. Ugh. Alright, so we'll have to fix all this up. I mean, either way, this is going to be a fun job, I can tell you that. Let me grab the other... the tips for my soldering iron, because we're going to have to desolder a bunch of these. I do not have a desoldering gun. So we'll have to do our best here. I have a beveled tip, or a chisel tip, or whatever you want to call it, that we will be using. And yeah, that'll do. I mean, this one's pretty good, but this one will heat up real good. And let's turn our soldering iron on. Make sure we don't get any explosions. Oh. And probably won't be using the microscope much for this because it's so big, the board rather, you're not going to be able to get too much focus on this. So let me move this out of the way. And this is not plugged in, that's why we're not getting any power on our soldering iron. Oopsie. Oopsie doopsie. There we go. Alright, here's an Apple 12-inch RGB monitor from 1994. Any big fat capacitor blew on me when I tried turning it on. Well, they are good monitors. They're 640 by 480. The 12 inches are, I believe, not that. They're 512 by whatever. They're meant for the Macintosh LC. And if you have a color one, great. That the RGB one's a color one. I have both. I have the grayscale one and the color one. Unfortunately, the color one, the plastic on mine is broken a bit. But, yeah, I think they're pretty decent monitors. They're not going to, blow anything out of the water, but they work great with an LC. No, the Quadra 840AP is not on the table today. I have a bit of a truncated schedule today. We're not going to be looking at that as much. Beep! Because our good friend Joe of Joe's Computer Museum is hosting a podcast as part of a bunch of other people today. And, what are you beeping for, buddy? What are you beeping for? You getting too hot, huh? What's going on? Let's lower this, huh? There you go. I think because the tip here is set to a different whatchamadinger, so it's gonna get a little hotter, or what the temperature isn't exactly what it expects, but it didn't go supernova, so that's good. So I'm gonna just put that there for a moment. Would you stop? Hold on. Are you going to be beeping this whole time? Because if you are, we're going to have a problem here. Okay. Yeah, it's somewhere over there. 8 p.m. tonight, yes. So I have probably 30 more minutes left. I'll leave a little early just to make it there. But I'm going to start taking some of these caps off because they're disgusting. So what I'm going to do is we'll set up two cameras here. Let's do that so you get a nice close-up view of that. And then we'll move this guy over. So you could kind of see me. You don't need to totally see me, but just like makes it more personable. Like, hi. Oh, this is weird. But okay, that's we're gonna do. We're gonna do what we can do. Yeah, Garth. The 2SIs are not fun. I saw you talking about your repair of it not long ago, and there's plenty of trace fun to go around here. Oh, it's just as sticky as anything. You can even see it's all sticky here. It's hard to tell from the camera here, but all in here it's sticky. It's just disgusting. So we're going to take all these caps off. And going to go by Bruce's guide here, because I think there's some caps you don't have to remove. I may be wrong, but whatever I went by his guide, that's the caps I ordered. So we're going to remove these big fat ones first. And yeah, those are fun. So those are those there. So I'll put some flux on there. Yeah, this is going to be bugging me the whole time. One moment. Let me plug this little fan in. Garth is like, I've seen too much of this. Alright, and let's see what we can do here. We got our solder wick. And we're just going to be trying to get some of the solder away from these caps as we wiggle them out of their place here. These are big old through-hole capacitors, so they're a little bit different than the SMD, this surface mount stuff I usually deal with. But what's nice about these is sometimes you could just, if you're careful enough, and you have an iron that's hot enough, you could just sort of wiggle them out of place here. Now, if this was energized recently, I probably wouldn't be doing this, because there is a risk that you could touch the top of the cap there and get a nasty discharge. This thing has not been on in months. I'm pretty confident it's okay. And we still have some solder we have to remove from there. So I'm going to just keep on going. Add some fresh solder to there. Sometimes that helps just loosen things up here. I'll tell you, this soldering tip is not really doing it for me. But then again, these are much larger than I'm used to here. On the monitor, I'd just, give it to someone who could fix it. I mean, those monitors aren't growing on trees, unfortunately. I'd take it off your hands if you were fairly close by. I know you're a little bit further away, I think. But these are two of the bigger caps, so it is going to be a little bit difficult to get these off here. I think I got this one almost out here. Alright, that one's out. I just have to, there's this plastic, rubbery, whatever the heck, seal crap, glue. I was just holding on, but oh yeah, look at that. You can kind of see the dirt there. It's out of focus, but fun. Fun, fun, fun. They paid $65. Oh, that's not too bad. Well, if they don't want it shipped back, let me know. How about that? Alright, so that's one of those caps removed. Let's cut into that crud. And then there's a cap hiding between these two, right here. Alright, we're going to continue along with this. And again, we're going to have a sort of a shortened stream today because I am joining the Retro Repair Roundup podcast at 8 p.m. So that's about in 45 minutes. So we'll go on for another half hour or something like that, maybe a little less. And then you can catch me and Joe from Joe's Computer Museum, Javier, and a bunch of other cool people as we talk about, well, a lot of cool stuff. How about that? Jay loves his beige computer so much. I mean, that guy just loves his beige. What more can I say? There we go. Oh, look at that. That one's done too. Put that over there. And then we have this little cap in here. The wire that looks like it has green all over it. Who knows why. We might not even need too much help for anything else here. Yeah, so this has the pins that are kind of bent, which are annoying. Make it very annoying to get this little guy off here. Actually, this is this side by side? No, it's not side by side. This is actually here and here. This guy here. Yeah, some of these it may not be clear from where you're looking, where the cap is, but I remember this from last time. Sort of tricks you. Use the tweezers here and just sort of pull down, put pressure on it. There we go. Look at that. Now I will have to clean up all the through holes and all that stuff, you know, but we're just taking the caps off for now. All right, so that's some of them out of the way, and so we're going to continue. There's one right over here that we're going to remove, and looking at the back, we're going to try and make sure that we know where it is, because there's a lot of components here. Oh, God. Alright, so there's a little hole there, okay. Next to that hole is that, and yeah, that looks like it. So I think it's this one and this one. Yeah, so this is fun. Fun on a bun. Yeah, the bent pins are not fun, so I'm just literally taking a pair of pliers here and making it a little bit easier for myself. Ah. Not that easy, of course. I got one of them out, so you just wiggle the rest of it out, hopefully. Hope that's it. Yeah, it's hard to tell with some of these because they're so close together. And I can't get my fat fingers in here, so. Oh wait, is that it really? That wasn't it? Wait. That has to be it. Sorry, I'm having a doubting session. Ow! Fudge, that's hot. That's what happens when you talk. You're trying to do things. Remember that one stream where Steve just melted his entire finger off? That was entertaining. Alright, half of one there. Something tells me I got the wrong one here. Let's just follow everything. So that goes there, that goes there, that goes there. But yeah, that has to be that. Ow. Pointy. You slimy. Uh-oh, moving. Some of these could just be a bit of a pain, and you just have to keep desoldering until they just gently come out. And that seems like this is going to be one of those where it really wants to, and look, finally came out. How about that? It is not fixed yet. We are just ripping your cap off here. And we have a tiny little guy over here. So this is easy. I could see where this is plugged into. That is this guy. Right there and there. So we're going to go just heat that up. Oh, that smells like fish. Oh, that's disgusting. And I'm going to have to fix up the solder mask and everything on this board because I'm scraping things and whatever. And ugh, it's the mess already. But it was like that, so. Okay, and now we move on to this connector, which is lovingly just a pain in the butt. So it does have this little plastic band, which I'm going to cut. Probably be smarter if I didn't cut it that way, but I don't know where my clippers are. Poo. Well, just be very careful, I guess. And we cut into the... No, we didn't. It's just this little plastic thing, and that was attaching this guy to this. So now we can move this out of the way, because we're going to have to remove all of these caps here. Now I want to warn you about something. These look like 3 capacitors in the corner right here. Right here. Yeah, this one's like a little coil guy. You don't need to remove it. It might be dirty, but that's just a metal coil. I accidentally removed that last time and melted it. And yeah, you don't need to do that, because it's not going to hurt you. You don't need to replace it. So we're just going to do the caps next to it so I don't make that same mistake. This one should be fairly, hopefully, simple, maybe, to get out. since it's on the corner here. Except this wire's in the way. We don't want to melt the wire. There we go. And apologies if the camera's out of focus. It's going to do that because that's what this camera likes to do. There we go. Get that guy out of there. Alright, and let's see. What else? We have the other one that's adjacent to it right here. It's this chunky one. We do the same exact thing. My hands are just sticking to the board because they have flux all over them. Blah. And electrolyte and all that disgusting stuff. This must be on a ground plane or something, because it is, yeah, negative. It's not coming quietly here. Oh, and the pin is twisted, so that's good. So let's pop it up through there. Push it the other way. And we'll just heat that up. And get that right out of there. There you go. So sometimes these legs are bent inward or outward. Just makes it a little more difficult. Sometimes they're twisted. Yes, Joe's podcast is a stream. It's going to be on YouTube. And so as soon as it's time, I'll be hopping over there. That's going to be fun. All right, so we have 3 or 4 more caps to remove here. So we're going to continue doing that. This next one is a 1200 microfarad 16 volt capacitor. And that is right there. My goodness, yeah, these all leaked big time. Not fun. No siree. And there's dust sticking to everything. Ugh. Battery bombed SE board. Oh, that sounds like fun. Sounds like a lot of fun. Oh, this one is really fishy. It's all green. Oh, look at you could see it. It's all black and green. This pin right there. This is absolutely disgusting. Need some flux to help this along the way. And there's like no solder on here, so no decent solder, so we're gonna have to add some just to remove it here. Ugh. This is disgusting. This is the worst one yet. Oh, that's stinky. Oof. Yeah, this is, oof. That's horrible. I have to try and clean this one up because it is not coming out of here. There's hardly any solder or anything left there. Let's see if we can get some on there. I'm gonna say that's the one that leaked primarily and messed things up for us here. Yeah, that's gonna be a problematic one. First off, there's a bunch of glue and stuff holding this cap on, so I'm just gonna cut through that. So I could wiggle this cap a little bit more, maybe persuade that to come out here. Yep, see you later, Joe. We will be joining you shortly. Everyone, after this, that's where I'm going, so even though it's a short stream, don't be sad. Oh my goodness, that's the worst one. Oh, this is terrible. Here, we're gonna have to get some focus on this. Hold on. Where's the focus thingy here? There we go. Oh, wrong camera. This is where we want the focus. Yeah, so let's look at this. Look how disgusting that is. That's yummy. And where it came from, look at this. Look at that disgusting mess there. That big black mark. Ugh. And you'll see, this is what I'm working with here on this board. All the electrolytics leaked on here. And yeah, there's a lot of mess that's going on here. So that's gonna be a lot of fun. Ugh. Yeah, so this is a long life RSH 6.3 volt 2200. And over there it goes. Alright, so we don't have too much more to rip off of here. And just in time, then we'll be able to wrap it up for Joe's stream. So we have, looks like we have 2 more to remove here, and then there's this little board that has 2 on there, but we'll remove that probably another day. But yeah, problem is these have like a glue that's holding them together, and I kind of understand why they did this, but it's kind of annoying because you just have this like hot glue snot everywhere. Doesn't really serve any purpose for me, at least. I mean, yeah, there's another little I don't know if that's a cap or what is that? No, that doesn't get removed. That's one of those coil things, I think. Oh gosh, this glue is horrid. Look at that. Ugh. All right, so we have 2 more caps to remove here. And they are just going to be as fun, I could tell. Alright, so this guy defined what the orientation is. There we go. Oh, that whole pad. Oof. That whole pad wants to come off. I don't blame it. Oof. Ugh. That's just as disgusting. Ew. Ugh. Oh yeah, that smells lovely. Yeah, this is gonna have to have an ultrasonic clean. There's no way this is would work as is. It's just disgusting. It's in terrible shape. And we're just wiggling the last capacitor out of here. And oof, that is a nasty one. Oh, I can smell it. That one's disgusting. Let's get our focus back up here so we could show you. Look at that. Ugh. It's just nasty. Hey Eric, how's it going? Oof. Alright, so I think that about gets all those nasty caps off here. We do have this little Sony guy here, OR5K, but I believe that's fine. Yeah, so we do have this little board here, and this has two little caps on there, and so we will be removing that. Let's how much time we have? Let's just try this a little bit. Yes, the corrosion usually does affect the cable, and this one actually looks like excuse me. This one looks like it's in okay shape at the edge of the connector there, but yeah, I mean, these are pretty nasty. So I'm just gonna quickly here see if we can loosen up this board a bit, but we might not be able to do this in time. Alright, yeah, these are heating up nice. Alright, so there is some of that hot snot garbage that's holding this to two capacitors here. And although Bruce didn't say you had to replace these two little blue caps here, I have those, so there we go. So I just replaced them because if I'm replacing everything, might as well replace those. You know, it's two more caps you gotta do, but makes life easier. So I'm just heating these up, and as I'm heating them up, I'm delicately persuading them to come down, and that probably not going to work 100% in my favor here because of how many pins there are on here. So what I'll have to do is come back with the solder wick. It's working a little bit, but you know, you would need a heat gun or something to heat up all these pins at the same time to really make this work its magic. Or you could just with a desoldering station just go and it would suck it all up, but I don't have one of those at the moment. They're about $200 for a cheap one. Maybe after the holidays or something like that I'll be able to grab one, but let's get the old disgusting wick out of there. Yep, no harm in replacing them. I just don't think they're on your guide. Oh no, they are on your guide. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of something else, I guess. But yeah, there's no harm in replacing them. I think it's one of the ones that rarely fail or whatever, but still. The way this board looks. Oh yeah, that's wiggling now. And we're almost done with this guy, hopefully. Ow. This board is so pointy. It's got a lot of the points. Alright, there's just a few little more specs on here. I think we're good. Hope everyone's doing well tonight. It's a bit cold here where I am today, but it could be worse. I think that'll almost do it there. Which ones are not wiggling? Yeah, there we go. There we go. We got it. So that's our little board here. Basically has a bunch of these little connectors. They're all bent out of shape now. I'll have to put them back on. But this little tiny board here. Let's try and focus on that. There we go. So we have two caps on there, a 33 microfarad 25 volt and a 100 microfarad 6.3 volt. Look at that. So here we go. I was going to have to replace the caps off of that, but that'll have to wait for another stream. Like I said, this is going to be a fairly short one. Be wrapping it up in a moment because we do have the other show that's going to start, and if you don't know what I'm referring to, that's the Retro Repair Roundup. There we go. With Joe of Joe's Computer Museum. So, let me switch over there. Here we go. So, we just started with this power supply. Took all the caps off. This is going to have to go in the ultrasonic cleaner. And the back of that is just, ugh, just horrible. Just look at that. Ugh. Ugh. So, yeah, that's going to have to be cleaned, because there's no way putting caps on that now is not going to short something. And we'll go from there, but we have plenty more to do with this, and then we'll test it once we get that to work. But that will have to continue on another stream. I'm going to put this over here. My hands are sticky. And Dave, I have your blue SCSI here. I will get that out in the mail hopefully sometime tomorrow. I got the new SD cards in yesterday. That's what I was waiting for, so I could write System 6 and 7 like I talked to you about via email and have those sent out to you. So that'll be great. So let me, I can't wash my hands. Oh, this mouse is going to be disgusting. My goodness. Oh, Retro Techie, you are hilarious. Hilarious. Is this mouse going to click? Oops, something went wrong. Thanks, YouTube. I have to go back to the chat here. I have to pop out the link because YouTube is being silly. My goodness. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to paste the link in here to, there we go. How about that? The Retro Repair Review Podcast, episode number 1, beginning in about 15 minutes or so. So I'm gonna paste that link, slam it into the chat here. Paste that in here. Oh, thank you very much for the super chat, Garth. Eep! Thank you very much for your help. I appreciate all the little tips I could get here. Thank you so much. And, hey, Shaman. So, the, whatchamacallit, the link I just pasted in the chat there is a podcast I'm going to be on in about 15 minutes. They're going to be live on YouTube, so although I got to run, please click on that link. Please subscribe to them. I think it's going to be a great show. And I'll see you guys there in a few minutes. Anybody have any questions or anything before I get going? Probably have to hang out there and make sure my audio levels are good and everything before we start. But, oh my goodness, Patrick, thank you so much for the super chat. Yep, thank you very much, dude. I appreciate that. That is, that's going towards the, it's going towards the, air thingy. The, I can't speak now. I'm so excited. It's going directly towards the, fume extractor. My goodness. Thank you very much, Garth. Thank you very much, Patrick. You weren't invited to be on the show. No, it's on YouTube. I don't think they're doing it via Discord. Well, it's something else they're doing in the back end. But I got to go prepare for that. But my goodness, thank you so much, everybody, for joining. And we'll solder pump. I have 2 things I have to get. But that'll definitely help. Thank you very much. Solder, one of those solder gun pump things. I have a manual one, but it's not automatic one like Bruce has, which he has very good luck with. And yeah, hey, not hey. Oh boy. Oh, you put your on the YouTube stream. Oh, there you go. But there you go. Well, thank you very much, Mac Geek. Thank you very much, Garth. Thank you very much, Patrick. And thank you everybody who joined the stream today. I know it's a short one, but jump on the Retro Repair Roundup podcast. I'm going to put the link in the video right now. And that's going to be starting in just a few minutes. So click on that link, hop onto that stream, and I'll catch you there. But thank you very much for watching, guys. And yeah, voice to text is always fun. Thank you, Patrick. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for all the likes, the subscribes, the super chats, and all that fun stuff. And I'll catch you on another stream too, soon, probably tomorrow, the day after, something like that. And see you on the podcast. Click on that link. See you guys later. Bye.